And hello everybody, it is I, Roguescaper. First stream of the year, so they say. Welcome Custom Scaper, welcome Clock Tamer. Hope you're all doing good today. And we're just going to dive into it. Probably not going to be doing a super long stream today as I'm starting a little bit later. As I was trying to dust off some of the Christmas cobwebs on the channel. I haven't got rid of all of them yet. Flesh Eisenek, well see, here's the thing about Flesh Eiseneks, is that it works for them because they're supposed to be creepy. No flesh should ever be on fish. But yeah, we're going to paint a little bit of the whatever his name is, old Scabby here. And teach you all how to do some yellow layering, if you don't know how to do that already. Because yellow is a notoriously painful color to work with. We have no video camera today of my face, as I am recording this potential future video. But either that, we'll just dive right into it. Hope everyone had a great holiday time, great Christmas, great New Year's. I'm glad it's all over. I spent all my break mainly reorganizing my scape tiles. Scape tiles and terrain. Should we get my package shipped tomorrow? Well, I anxiously await it. We are using Pixie Pink from Army Banner, and we are just applying this over a layer of pure white. Whenever you paint yellow, you definitely want to avoid using black as much as possible if you value your time and your morale, because pretty much it'll make it like a muddy, ugly green. This pink is going to kind of simulate the contrasting shadows when we fill it in, and I think it'll be looking pretty nice. For New Year's Eve, my tradition is to play a long game of Heroscape until the ball drops. So I play like a 6-hour game. We did a custom variant mode, pretty much a big heat of the battle map, but we did kind of like in Super Smash Bros. We did like points killed. So every round, your entire army regenerated like at respawn zones. And so your goal was just to be aggressive and just kill as many units as you can. I was playing Sudema, and I was on a tear because I was doing Sudema, Crypt Guardians, and some Scions. And man, I was blasting Jotun, and I was blasting what's his name? Charos. I was blasting everyone. My D20 was hot, and I was racking up the points. You slept for New Year's Eve? That's that's probably the best way to spend New Year's Eve, if we're being honest. Fighting with your frost claws, tried my usual method for whitening their fur, and it looks not great. Yeah, frost claws are a bit of a pain. Primarily when you paint white, you want to avoid painting white as much as possible. Honestly, there's two ways to do this. You either layer up from like kind of off whites, base coat in like dark, like browns and tans and dark ivories, and just do like a white dry brush, or you prime the whole thing white and then use some like gray speed paint or gray wash, and just let that do the work for you. And then just kind of go over and layer with some white dry brush or white highlights on the finished model. But either way, white is a pain if you're... I have trouble with it as much as the next person for sure. Let's see here. So you get for bringing up Fleshfish, yeah, that's it's been a bit of a meme for sure. I did not like it. He's in my box now, just forever haunting me. They just woken up 2:30 by drunk neighbors blasting music as they drove home, as is the New Year's tradition. Yeah, maybe it's because I'm getting old, but I like New Year's because it's just a chance for me to hold people captive and play games all night. that's the only way to celebrate New Year's. If you're like just trying to have a standard hangout party, they're like the worst parties because everyone's like hanging out for 6 hours with nothing to do. At least at like Christmas parties, you have like white elephant gift exchange. You have something to fill the time, but New Year's parties are pretty boring if it doesn't involve long, hour-long games. I had a good time. Always a good time if you get to play some Scape. That's the only. All my like your relatives and friends have kids, so it's the only time I can convince them to stay up past 9 o'clock to play games. Luckily, they left their car running and the garage open all night. Well, you know, what goes around comes around. That happened to me last year. Well, it wasn't like for that, but it was I had to turn on the car because it was so cold it kept on draining the battery. And then I just kind of was so tired I forgot to turn it off. And I let the car run all night long. And I just filled up the tank of gas. So that made me kind of sad. Because it was pretty much empty by the time I realized it the next day. Yeah, I'm forgetting things all the time. Of course, if you have an airbrush, you can do this a lot faster. If I wasn't trying to film it for everybody, I would definitely be using an airbrush right now. Just get this done in a couple minutes. Hello, Tails. Yeah, it's you know, I'm not envious of you. We'll be up a lot tonight, animating, making Source Golf come to life. Ooh, I'm excited for that. I'm hoping you'll have like the characters from Source or oh, what's the game proper called? Time Strike in there. I have the figures. I haven't gotten around to painting much of them yet. I've just been so busy painting Scape. I have been I didn't have some figures prepped tonight. I was actually going to paint some historicals I've been working on because I'm working on my next kind of pitching video. You know, where I take concepts or things I would like to see in Scape and kind of try to deeply explore it. So the next one up on the docket is historicals. And I didn't really have a lot of the room in the budget because I usually try for those videos to hire an artist or, you know, get some kind of art to showcase what I want to do. So I became the artist and I'm printing and painting all the models for that video. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a pretty good one. Okay, not Time Strike. Purple, get some. See, the problem is I painted like this pink purple, and then I always kind of like want to keep it like that. Because, I mean, imagine just showing up the battlefield and having this pink monstrosity tear you down. I've just had bad luck with Scav whenever I play him. That 4 defense does not hold for me. I actually like Scav better without Lich. I think the Iron Lich is just a little bit too expensive for what he does. Like, a single attack of 3 is just not much. I wish he had like a special attack. Even if he had like kind of like an explosion special attack, I would use the Iron Lich all the time, but single attack of 3 is tough to justify how much he is. And if everyone's gunning for him, because then you just can snipe all your order markers. But they just burn too fast. The Eiseneks burn too fast and too bright. I'm hoping the new ones coming out are going to be pretty good. At least buff up the army a bit. Half-Life minis. Getting all my armies prepped for SASCON. I'll be going there to North Carolina in a couple weeks. So if you're going to that, definitely come by and say hi. It looks like it'd be a pretty fun event. I was never thinking I would go, but I had some flight credits that were going to expire in January, so I am going now. and I'm looking forward to it because I don't think he'll be able to go to EscapeCon for too long this year. Just probably the weekend. More than anything else, yeah, his injections. But man, if you whiff on those injections, like at EscapeCon, I had someone attack me with an injected scav with like 6 attack and whiffed both times. It was just kind of, or 8 attack. It was just miserable for them. But he's good. He's just a little bit too pricey. What's he at in Delta? Like 130 now or something? Or is he still the same? I like running Eiseneks without him. All that to say. He's getting there. He's coming along. No, I've been watching you get your scav done. I like this game. This is my 4th Scavorith I've painted. This is going to be the one actually for myself. I painted one a red color, but I wasn't too happy with it. Maybe I'll tidy it up a bit and give it away as a giveaway. So I do have some models I'm looking to give away, some extra stuff built up. No, it's not a great criticism. It's unbalanced, but they do just seem to burn so fat. Like they're really, if you like just, well, I'm the king of whiffs, so I'm scared of any unit that like a whiff will devastate them. I like a little bit of remuneration. That's why I like Maladric so much, because you can just keep on bringing your bugs back and the right armies, and besides the killer stats. But the Iron Lich, I've won so many games where he's just whiffed a couple bad rolls. If you just focus on the Iron Lich, that army goes down pretty fast. But I like playing the Eiseneks. I don't hate them. It's just it's always like I just feel like he's just a little bit overcosted. I'd like him more like 130, I think. Give me a little flexibility for some filler. Or 120. I was playing with my brother-in-law last night, and he was pretty upset at the game. He's not like competitive, but he likes playing. He's one of the few people that I play with at that group that actually like wants to be good at the game. So he was what is that VC Cyclops? Not Brontos. He was playing with Brontos, and he had height, unique attack cliff. So he's rolling like 7 skulls, I think. And each skull rolled is doubled, and he whiffed 3 attacks in a row. Like, not rolling more than 1 skull. He was rolling about a 33% average the entire game. But it is what it is. No, I like Scav though. That 4 defense though is tough. It's a tough. That's why honestly I wish he had. He's so. But he has a lot of life pool. I don't know. I'm just talking now. I'm just talking painting. Probably just come across like I hate them. I actually really love these units. I just don't field them as much as I would like because I'm so concerned about their whiffs on them. But I'm hoping the new Eiseneks are gonna at least give them a little bit. I actually like Hellforge with a lot more than any of the other Eiseneks. I've had really great luck with Hellforge. We gotta have that hot D20 though. If your D20 is not hot, then he is just a paperweight. You should subscribe to Hexhala. They're a great channel. Forget Hexhala. Nobody needs to know about them. Start promoting Hexhala and cheering for them in the chat, but continue to cheer for here in their life. That would be kind of funny though. Pretty much we just are cross streaming at this point. I think I like Hexhala a lot more than they like me. They have the disadvantage of getting to know me in real life, so well, we're getting the space layer done. Stay in focus. A lot of time fixing camera angles and just tidying things up, so it's nice to get a little bit of tested out here. I'm always tweaking things over here in the rogue cave. I got some Army Painter speed paint markers for Christmas, so I'll have to test those out. People keep on asking me about them, seeing if they're worthwhile, and I haven't honestly even opened them up too much yet. But they look interesting. I'm just so used to brushes, it's kind of like a weird shift of mine. I have a couple duplicate figures to paint that I'm just more saving for painting tutorials and stuff, but I'm pretty much done with all of the Heroscape figures. I'm making some videos concerning them, but I'm pretty much just waiting for February, which I'm glad. I was getting a little overwhelmed with all the stuff that's coming out. The G.I. Joe is going to take me a long time to do. I got a lot of it so I can keep my dad playing with me. But we should have some more videos coming out of the pipeline pretty soon. I've been taking some time just to rest and recalibrate, which is nice. That's why I haven't had a lot of edited videos come out recently. But I'm feeling pretty reinvigorated, so I'm ready to start this new year off pretty strong. Some Cobra symbol decals. Now that's a good idea. I'm trying to think of which unit would look on it. Maybe the battle pod or strike copter, whatever it's called. Maybe get some tiny ones for the Cobra Trooper's armor would be nice. I'll have to look at those models, see if they have some smooth areas that could support them. You gotta give general emblem stickers and Joe cards to give them proper generals. Let's see. Well, are all Joes gonna go to like Jandar? Or are you gonna try to diversify it? I could see a little bit of like the ninjas going elsewhere. There's so many units coming out. I just forget everything that's like there. Cobra, is it Cobra just all Utgar? Like, or are you gonna try to like spread them out a bit? Do they still maintain that they're Joe and Cobra too? Because a lot of their powers reference their affiliation. Oh, for Cobra Commander and Troopers. Yeah, I like that idea. I will have to look into that. Because I know how to make my own decals and apply them. I actually use that a lot for like Templars. I created my own Templar decal. Templar decals is actually hard to say, as well as the Knights. I'm still workshopping the Knights. It's not perfect yet. I use vinyl stickers for the Knights, but I need to kind of go to like a Cricut machine and actually like have them accurately cut, because I have to hand cut them, and it's just not too accurate. Okay, so that'll be fine. You have to make a Serpentor Einar just because he's a combination of all warlord generals. Historical. Alright. We just call it here. There, he's done. Alright, we're gonna let this sit for a second here. And let's see if we have anything else to paint while we wait. Here, I got a Theraxis. Let's get a layer on Theraxis here. We wait for it to dry. Historical, hysterical. Excuse my reach. All right, let's get some nuclear sunrise for his bespoke armor plating. I have like 5 extra of these guys that I'm just trying to paint for giveaways or to sell. Probably should have brightened that up a bit in those shadows, but we'll be fine. I've been kind of trying some new things with speed paint, mainly just seeing if I can just use it just to apply like a base layer and then build it up with my standard acrylic method. I kind of like this combo method because I like the intentionality you can get with acrylics, but I do like the speed of speed paint. So I'm learning and growing. Gonna make Roadblock Vidar because of the heavy weapon attack. Yeah, I can feel that. Oh, Lady J would probably be Ular, just because of vibes. Scarlet. Yeah, you could probably put a couple in Vidar. Some maybe in Valerac if you're a Valerac fan. All right, let's get the head. Where you put Snake Eyes? I put Snake Eyes in Vidar just because I always feel like ninjas should be Vidar. I don't know much about G.I. Joes, so I don't know like their temperament or their personality. I'm just going purely off visual vibes. But Snake Eyes feels more of a Vidar. But I can see him being kind of a Jandar ninja as well. Should have lightened that up every time I use speed paints. Yeah, that's how it goes. That's why from now on I'm just using I've been using the speed paints a lot lately as blending or like dual tone speed paints where I kind of paint a solid color, then I dry brush kind of a contrasting brighter color, and then put the speed paint on. Like I kind of did some of that with this Kraken here, and I'm happy with how it's turning out. Have you ever tried using Einar decals on any models? I've used for Hatamoto the flag bearer, of course, but any other model? Not really. I've been fortunate enough to just have a lot of kind of classic Einar units on hand, so I've never felt the need to do additional work to them. But I do need some more Sacred Band I've been meaning to print, so maybe I can just put the Einar symbols on the shield. That's not a bad idea. I'm trying to think of what other ones, because you want a good flat surface. For some of the Valeric units, I have some decals, but I have to make them a little bit smaller. For Kane, I want to put kind of stickers on the side, like kill count type of deal, how they have, and some stuff on the blimp. Gotta go get food, get some life done. We'll have fun doing both those things, Clock Tamer. Hopefully it's It's cheese that you're eating. Should line that up. Yeah. Speed paints are an interesting tool to have in your toolkit, for sure. I'm using them more as a kind of an animary, like, blending type of thing now. I kind of like toning things down and shifting colors slightly. How much would you charge for some Cobra decals? I'm not sure on that. Honestly, I just have to see how much it is to, how much work it is to get the design. Thankfully, Cobra has pretty clear, you know, design stuff. So, yeah, I wouldn't have a number offhand. It's just because I've never done that. But I honestly, I would be willing just to ship it to you for the cost of the materials and stuff like that. So, because like I think a sheet of the paper and the ink is like $8 or whatever. So I would just modify the vector. I'm sure that's online somewhere, and size it up. And if I'm doing it for myself anyways, and it's just like you're buying a couple sheets of paper. Now, physically applying it to the models, I might have to charge for that, just because that's actually doing work. I'm just a bad business person, is what people keep on telling me. But yeah, you can certainly message me. I can look into it for sure for you. Because especially if the decals are small, you can put like... Are the decals blacker? Because I can pretty much only do like dark color decals. I don't have the technology for like white decals, unfortunately. I would love a white ink printer. That would be amazing to have. But those things are a little pricey. And I don't think I would use it enough to justify it. But if you also just want the file, I usually, whenever I do that kind of stuff, I post it all to a drive. So I have a lot of like, I don't know if I have it linked here, but if you find my decal video on my YouTube channel, I do have a link to the drive with all pretty much the work I do, which you can always, I try to keep a lot of assets free for the community in those drives. So I should probably make a video telling people I have it, just so people know. Because I have like mostly every classic Heroscape figure cut out into a high quality PNG, which anyone is able to use if they so choose. So, you know, especially for like content creators and stuff like that, you want to use that for your banner art. You certainly can use that. I have a lot of assets. I have all the general symbols in high quality SVGs and PNGs. The new and old ones all updated. So if you're looking for assets, definitely come talking to me. Did a lot of graphic design back in the day, so whenever I have a free moment, I try to update that stuff. Red. What colors? Let me look at the Cobra Troopers real fast here. I fear like for their little tiny arms, I feel like with the black plating it might be hard to show through. Actually, now that I look at it, it might need a brighter color underneath, like a bright silver or even like a light silver, just because the printable decals are pretty translucent. But there's some other ways. I wanted to look more into vinyl decals and like stickers, which might work a little bit better for this type of situation. Alright, just getting all these corners filled with pink here. You, of course, could try to sketch out kind of like a little white area on the, I guess, the armor plating or wherever you want it to go, and then put the decal on and then paint around it is also an option, but that's a little hard to do. But I'll run some experiments on it, see if I can come up with some good answers there for you. I'll pin it on my to-do list, which I'm trying to clear out of things. I have things that people ask before, and I just get kind of caught up in my own brain sometimes. I'm sure people could attest to that. But I'm filled with the strength of New Year's to try to be a bit more consistent with things. So here's hoping. Yeah, if you have some pink primer on hand, definitely just prime this whole thing pink. It will save you a good amount of time. No, Citadel has some, I forget what the shade is, and Army Painter both have some good, or just get an airbrush and do it that way as well. I was going through my my Heroscape stuff, and I was just like, I have to get ready for all the new releases, storage-wise, as well as a whole new master set. I'm like, man, I am running out of space here, because I'm about at 98% completion, I'd say, of all Heroscape. I don't have, well, actually, I think I just have. I have 4 units I don't have, which are the, you know, I just don't have Agent Skahen, like the official one, which I don't think I'll ever get. I don't have Quasach Hunters, which I probably will pick up one squad someday. And I'm missing 1 model from Granite Guardians. And that's I have everything else. I picked up a Windshoe Woo earlier this year for, I mean, it was a birthday present to myself. It was like $130, so it was on sale comparatively. Curious if I had any experience playing C3scape. Not too much. I've used to look at the cards just because I like the designs, but I never played it. It's almost an entirely separate game at this point, and it just kind of flew past me. I did play a lot of Heroes of Star Warscape, though, because I used to have a lot of Star Wars models. And that's pretty fun. I like those unit designs a whole lot. There's a lot of fun factions there. Take the background music. Oh yeah, it's my chill painting mix here. Yeah, it's a terrible feeling when you put your stuff and it fits perfectly, and then you realize your collection is growing. Yeah, there's the problem I have is a lot of these new units are really tough to store in the standard method. Like Krakenlings are a pain to store. Like they have this excess of long tentacles, and you know, even things like the Acolytes are just really, really tough to store like in your traditional method. So I'm having hard times with some of the Renegade units. It was kind of a weird feeling. I was putting all my painted stuff in a box, and I was like, I don't want to do this because I work so hard painting all this stuff because I usually have them like on the display stand behind me. But I was like, I gotta make room for the new stuff. I felt like I was putting my children in a in a box type of deal. I was like, I think I have like 2,000, 3,000 hours of painting into you guys. please don't break in the box. And hello, Great Wormlord. Welcome to the chat. Okay. I think we're getting pretty close to a nice solid base coat here. Yeah, let's see what's the hardest unit going to be from the new releases. Honestly, the drop pods are going to really be a pain to consistently store. I have like 5 squads of the Great Bow Archers. Those are a pain to store. What else do I have? Yeah, I hate storing the Acolytes. They're just kind of bulky and big. They're wide. Any unit that's wide is really tough for my current system. I think the new Cthulhu Daddy Monster creature is just going to be a display piece. I don't know. He might fit well into something, but I'll probably have to get some custom packaging to transport him around like a shoebox or something, because he looks pretty big and wide. Do you have any Valorak to paint Mickey Mouse color pattern? Oh, like extra Valorak, units? That'd be kind of funny. Oh, for the new snipers work really good. The one with the big ears, I think, would be a really funny Mickey Mouse one. If I get an extra, maybe I'll do something inspired by that. But no, I don't have much. I was realizing today, like, I don't have much models left. I have an extra set of the Dryan pack that will be painted and given away eventually. And I have an extra set of like Crimson Widow and the Dreadnoughts. And then that's some extra master set pieces, but I've already painted so many master set pieces, I just kind of keep those on hand if I need them. And other than that, I'm done. I finished them all. That's like 5 squads of crabs, 5 squads of fish, 5 squads of nukes. Been doing a lot of painting. Shoebox over reliable. You can't go wrong with that. Oh, Empress to celebrate after your trip to Disney. Yeah, I hope I don't go to Disney. That's honestly why I haven't been making anything. It's just for fear that one of my videos will go viral and I have to go to Disney with Hexala. Because I'll just say this here, I don't want to go. I really hate theme parks. They're about as much fun to me as the DMV. That's what the D in DMV stands for, is Disney. I don't like rides. I'm scared of rides. I don't like crowds. I don't like paying $12 for a cup of water, because I'm kind of cheap like that. So it'd be a nightmare for me to go. I think that's why Hexala wants me to go so much, is because they know I would absolutely hate it. Get more left than I want to think about. Some lore there. Oh yeah, so there was a stream. Hexala, well, specifically Rowan from Hexala wants to go to Disney World. Because there's a dinosaur ride park that's closing, and as a joke, they suggested that I go to Disneyland with them for one day to ride this ride and go home. But the joke has rapidly evolved into this movement to try to get me to go to Disneyland for one day in Florida when I lived in Kansas, and to ride this one ride and go home. And there's numerous reasons why I don't want to do this, but then I kind of, as a joke, said if I get to 1,000 subscribers before the date, then I'll go to Disney World. And then it's kind of my one fault of a character flaw is my willingness to commit to a bit. So we'll see. But what's the biggest unit everyone's just dreading trying to get done? That's just like, oh wait, I have to finish. I just realized I gave Tales of Valhalla my Zed Nesbit. I gotta paint my extra one. Oh no. I'll do that over. I don't know. Should I make a video on that one or just get that one done in live stream? It might be like a two or three part video just because there's so many components. What's the cutoff date? I don't even know. I think it's like end of January or something, mid of January. So hopefully I'll just make it out. But I never really set, like, I did it more as a joke. So I guess it could just be forever. If I would, you know, as a bit, I could definitely go later sometime, but not January. I'm spending all my money going to cons, Heroscape cons, or the long con there. It's definitely tough because whenever I go to a con, I'm like, I could just spend all this money buying Heroscape, but cons are also the place where you get to play the most Heroscape. So it's kind of like an Ouroboros of sorts, where the snake eats its own tail. And then you just say, yeah, I like the people a lot more than I like having 20 sets of one thing. Okay, we're going to let that sit for a bit. Just joining, what's the inspo for purple scav? So we're actually doing what's called pretty much a base coat with undershading, as we're going to transition this to a yellow with, sorry, my phone is just ringing. Yellow with some really deep orangey shadows is what we're going to do using some contrast paints. But I will not lie, I do like the purple theme. It stands out. But right now we're just base coating and pretty much preparing to do some fun transitional effects once he's all done drying. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Yeah, it took me a couple years to clear up. I do a lot of commissions come con time, so I kind of I went to EscapeCon. I think I painted over 40-50 figures to pay my way to get there. So no, over 100 I think for Gen Con. Over 100 for Gen Con. So I work for it for sure. But I definitely recommend that if you're really into Heroscape, I'd say EscapeCon is probably the biggest one to go to. I like sometimes going to some that aren't as big as others. I'm at 150 away from 1K. Yeah, I'm roundabouts there. I could probably push it to get there. There'll be some fun celebrations once we get to 1K, for sure. I have some things planned. But if one of those things is Disneyland, then yeah. Hot dang, that's impressive. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's it's the benefit of not having much else you like to do. So it's really just, I get a lot. Once you learn to, well, first step is once you learn how to have a space that's just dedicated for painting, it makes it so much easier. And then second is once you learn how to multitask when you're in that space. Like I watch whole seasons of TV shows and stuff like that when I'm in my little chair. And so, but it's definitely, sometimes it does. That's why I take these long breaks from producing content sometimes, because sometimes it does just get a little bit like, whew. But this is the path I chose, and I guess I have to stick with it. Let's see. Let's get a nice. No, we don't want that one. We're just casually painting. We'll get some high velour blue for the carapace. While we wait for that to dry. I like painting squads live in stream because you can kind of cycle through them, but I always try to have a model nearby. This will be the 15th Thyraxis I've painted. you watch the finale of Stranger Things, I am going to be watching it tonight. So don't spoil it for me. I can't imagine that they'll stick the landing. I am unhopeful that they will be able to do it. I'm not like a Stranger Things like crazy fan, but I think it's a well done show. And it's kind of more like culturally, like you just gotta watch it to know what's going on. It's at this point, it's like season 1 is like a really just tightly well done show. At this point, it's just kind of a fun show to have. It's cinematic enough that I don't complain. Yeah, but no, I'll be watching tonight. When I end the stream, it'll be because my wife has gotten home and says, "Do you want to watch Stranger Things?" And I'll say, "Yeah, I do. I want to see what happens to Will the Wise." Although I will say, I'm really this season has annoyed me for specific reasons. I think this season is the second worst season so far, right after season 2, and I don't like hate it. I just think that there's some areas where it's weak. And as a D&D fan, I really hate how they're talking about sorcerers in first edition. Like that's not a thing that is existent there in D&D in the 80s. It was 2 hours long. Yeah, it's pretty long. There's still so many things they have to they spent the first half of the season like introducing new concepts, where they still had a lot of concepts to kind of finish off. But you can all tell me, is it satisfying? Like, what are your initial thoughts on the finale if you've seen it? Don't tell me the actual what happens, but you can give me your impressions if you want. I'll allow that without the ban without the ban hammer. You gotta hear the Heroscape think of Stranger Things season 1 through 4. I haven't had a chance to go back and rewatch them all, so it's fuzzy at best. Season 1 is a tightly told story that is good because of how small it is, how they introduce a lot of characters and a lot of strong concepts, and they introduce a really scary villain, a really scary above-world premise. And it all delivers. It all lands very well. And season 2 is definitely kind of, you get the feeling they're like, oh wait, we didn't have a plan for season 2. We didn't think we would get this far. There's this whole Chicago arc where you meet the X-Men, and I don't remember anything else. Season 3, I like season 3 a lot. Season 3 is the most fun season. I have a good time watching season 3. They introduce a lot of characters, and the characters do a pretty good job of sticking around and becoming pretty fun parts of the cast. But it is a little bit goofy. It's kind of starting to lose a little bit of that serious edge. Season 4, I think, is the best season. It is perfectly paced. It came out at a time where everyone was really desperate for some good stuff. Post-pandemic, it really capitalized on that kind of feeling of just paranoia and isolation, and Vecna's introduction was really cool. They did a really great job of slowly building him up. Yeah, I think season 4 is just is almost a return to form with how well it's paced and told. It feels like everyone's doing things. Max becomes like a character into her own right. I don't remember all the details, but I remember really liking season 4. Season 5 so far is a little bit of the season 3, a little bit of season 1, a little bit of season 2 is what it feels like. It's got the bit of the funness of season 3, a little bit of like, there's just too many people. It's weird having all these people like together. Is really the hardest part. Like, that one scene where there's like 20 people in a room is just like, there's just a little bit too many people here, half of which have never even interacted. Fun fact, if you want me talking all day, just ask me questions about analysis. Before I started the Heroscape channel, I wanted to start a film analysis channel. I was going to call it Critimatic, actually, where I break down movie scenes and showcase how to put into your RPGs and do that. But then I realized I don't really like the RPG D&D community too much, so I decided not to do that and do Heroscape instead. And we're also using Bright Ivory as a strong dry brush over our pink. This is creating this contrast needed for the contrast paints, and we're going to put this on pretty heavily. Because as Cody Cardboard was saying, it always should have been brighter. Honestly, we didn't need to be as thorough as we were, but I wanted to make sure I covered all bases. No big surprises. Yeah, I feel like it'll be a decent ending. I just think they're running out of juice. It's been a long time. It's been how long since Obama was president when the first Stranger Things released? Agreed on season 4 being the best. Who's your overall favorite Stranger Things character? That's interesting. You're gonna expect me to remember names. I mean, I really like the Steve and Dustin dynamic. It's impossible not to love that. I really like how they took a bully character and made him into a lovable dork. And I don't like Mike. I don't like Will. I like Lucas. I like Max a lot too. Max is pretty well written. Max has like a lot more interesting things to say and come into the world compared to the other characters. And I like season 4 Nancy, but not any other season Nancy. What's her boyfriend? I don't even remember his name. I think he's terrible. I think he hasn't had anything useful to do for... What's his name? I don't even remember his name. That's his boyfriend, Will's brother. What's his name? I can't even remember his name. That's how much I think he doesn't have anything to do in the show. Murray was good in the first season he was introduced. Winona Ryder was also just good in season 1. Like, some characters fell off. And David Harbour was actually the best in season 2, I'd say. But he's kind of fallen off too. I think they should have killed him off. Because he doesn't have much to do this season. He's just kind of grumpy. Jonathan is the boyfriend. Thank you. Yeah, he's pointless. He does not need to be here. He could have died, I think. We could have killed him off. And 11 is whatever. Millie Bobby Brown is a good actress. She does her role well. It's just not very interesting to me to watch all the time. But, I mean, you gotta love Dustin and Steve. You can't go wrong with them. Thoughts on season 5, Holly. I think she's a good actress. I don't like how... It's hard for me to pedantically get past how she's like 3 and now she's like 14. It's just it's a little inconsistent. But I think she's a great actress. I think she's killing it in her role. Just, I think it's more not in the show, outside of the show. It kind of takes you out of it. She just seems a little too old. But we spend a lot of time with her, so... But I don't think she does, like, a whole bunch. But maybe she'll become more interesting in the finale. And I haven't watched these seasons for so long, so take all this with a grain of salt. I could be very wrong on my assertions of all this. But Stranger Thing, Heroscape, I'd buy it. Little Demogorgon figure. My garage is opening. Sorry about that. Alright, so we'll get some brush soap real fast and clean out my brushes. And definitely recommend brush soap for your dry brushes, as you can make them last a lot longer. Alright, let's make some magic happen here. So we got some Citadel Iron Jaws yellow. You could also use speed paint for this, or contrast paint. And we are going to just slap this on to our old centipede friend here. I don't use a lot of Citadel paints. Not their biggest fan, but I do admit I do like the contrast paints. The dry brush also creates a very nice texture on the model. So when we overlay this, it already looks a little bit worn and kind of battle eroded. Fun idea, post a Stranger Things finale reaction video to this channel. That's a fun idea. I don't know if I would do it. I typically don't like doing reaction videos to type of stuff, but I guess I do it sometimes with the new reveals. I try to at least make it somewhat informative or structured. It's hard for me just to go off the cuff. I'm not a very off the cuff kind of person. I am prone to ramble. I think Wizards of the Coast will create D&D versions of the Stranger Things D&D PCs. I'm sure if they haven't already done it, they will do it. I know there is a campaign that you can get on D&D Beyond, so assumedly they have some form of the characters there. But Subscribe would be awesome. C3G got a Demogorgon made for that. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. Have I tried sponges? I keep on seeing them pop up. They're on my list of things to try for sure. I do see the sponges, especially from artists like Don Serratos and stuff like that. And other YouTube painters. It seems to be the vogue. It's definitely something I want to try out. It's Because I do like the... Well, I don't use contrast paints a lot, so I've never even bothered to try it, but I'm dipping my toe into doing some new things with them. So, the sponges, I do like how smooth they are for the blending. And we're just kind of spreading the paint around so it a bit more accurately fills it in. So what really the pink Auld did was just a lot of time to create a slightly warmer undertone when we applied the contrast paint. So it pretty much filled in the shadows. Then that white contrast paint provided the white contrast from the ivory just gave a bit of the highlight, something to cling on to. I did watch Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. I did watch that video. I thought it was fairly decent. I think it was a pretty fun movie. The only problem I had was that they weren't very tied to their classes. But I mean, I can't fault someone else's homebrew, I guess. Because like, what class is the main character? They want to convince you he's a bard, but he doesn't cast any spells. So he's like a fighter, I think, with an improvised instrument. But other than that, no, it's a pretty fun movie. I enjoyed it. We'll have to look at this, but yeah, sponges are great. They're very smooth, and I see a lot of users use them just to create kind of if you're using speed paints, you want to create kind of a softer blend from your dual tones. It's a great way to do it a bit more smooth and not as, because dry brushes are inherently textured. They're pro and con of them. And we're going to add some nice yellow highlights to this later, just to really start making this thing come alive. Once you start separating the colors, I think it'll look a bit different. But yellow is a pain. Really, I wouldn't paint yellow unless you're using inks or contrast, because it's a very thin paint. And this thing would be all blotchy and wouldn't look too good. You definitely want to make sure you cover all the pink though, so it doesn't pop through. And this paint will dry a lot brighter than it appears initially. It comes on pretty dark. Wrath of the Dragon God is your favorite D&D movie. I've never seen that one. Couldn't speak to it, but I like all the words in that sentence, so it's got to be pretty good. Would you all want me to do like a live session of D&D sometime, maybe with some other fellow Heroscape content creators? I'd be happy to do that, kind of like online. As I know I've been asking Tales for a bit. I could probably convince someone at Hexhala to play. I know Joe Crazy would be down. I did see that, yeah. That was pretty funny. I like how the D&D cartoon had them fighting Tiamat at level 1. Oh, use Heroscape terrain? Yeah, I could do that too. Or we could just have them be Heroscape characters, and I could just like create D&D stat blocks for him. It's possible if people are interested in doing something like that. I could definitely do a live play, either just D&D proper or some kind of Heroscape hybrid. Yeah, let me know. We got ourselves the mac and cheese monster here. As long as Tails isn't Scavorith, yeah. Tails does like being Scavorith. I played Escape Adventure with him. He played with Joe Crazy, and he was Scavorith the entire time. Yeah, weren't they in the maze, like the people dressed up that way, or did the actual cartoon itself show up somewhere and I didn't catch it? I know I recognize the costumes in like when they're in that maze fight. Let's see. We got all our angles. It's just all right. So that's kind of what we're doing tonight. I hate to call it early, but like I said, I got Stranger Things to watch, so maybe I'll stream another day. I'll just keep this guy on the work pile for us to keep on working through, because we got a lot of ground to cover. We got pretty much the base layer done of the yellow, but I'm going to edge highlight all his little paneling, or as much as I care to do, and we're going to brighten him up a bit. You got a little orangey. I think I got the wrong tone of contrast shade, but it's a good color to build up for. We have our shades and our values kind of established. And then we'll just kind of tweak it. Maybe do an oil wash on it to really make them look rusty and battle worn. Oh yeah, I saw them. I think that's it for tonight, everybody. We did about an hour. That's fine. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I will react next stream. I'll definitely give my full breakdown of Stranger Things season 5. So stay tuned for that. And you all have a happy new year. Thanks so much for making this channel great. And let's have a great 2026. Can't be any worse than 2025. So here's to it. Bye, y'all.